Hi everyone, it's Natalia here again from the channel Cookielicious NZ. Today I'm going to show you how to make bandit slugs. And as usual, you will need some sugar cookies that's been cut out using a printed template. I will have a link in the description box below for you to create these templates, and all you need to do is print and cut the shape of the bandit slug using a sharp knife or an Exacto knife. I also cut out a few different sections of the slug to make it easier to decorate the cookie, and I will show you this in the tutorial coming up. And an edible marker to mark guidelines on my cookies, and these markers are food safe and created specially for this kind of projects. I'll also be using a Scribe tool, which is a needle tool to smooth out my icing and help shape the icing around the cookies. And here are my royal icing that I've prepared earlier with 5 simple colors: black, white, grey, blue and yellow. And if you're looking for a royal icing and a simple sugar cookie recipe, you'll find it in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started on the decorating process by using an edible marker to create guidelines using the little templates I showed you earlier. So mark the areas for his clothes, followed by his mouth, ears and then eyes. The guidelines will make it easier when it comes to putting icing on the cookies later. And on some part of it, it's easy enough to connect the lines manually after you mark the main guidelines using the template. So continue to mark the areas for his blue beanie, and then the bottom of his body, and lastly, don't forget the stripes on his clothes. Now we can start icing the cookie by piping yellow icing on his stripy clothes first, and you can use the Scribe tool if needed to smooth out the icing. Then followed by the top of his blue beanie, and then let the icing crust over. Then we need to create the rim of his beanie, and to do this you can fill an alternate section of the rim for his beanie and then let the icing crust over again. Also in the meantime, we can fill the gap on his clothes with the black icing to create the stripes. Use the Scribe tool to help smooth out and shape the icing around the edges. Then use the same black icing to fill the top eyelid on one side of the eye and then the bottom lid on the other side, and this way we can create dimension for his eyes. And use the same black icing to fill the bottom part of his body and then let the icing dry. Now we can fill the remaining section of his beanie, and this is where the Scribe tool comes in handy because of the little section. You can use it to help shape the icing around the edges. Then fill the remaining sections of his eyelid, both the bottom and top, with the black icing. And use the same black icing to fill the remaining section of his body. Now it looks like this bandit is wearing a mask that is tied at the back of his eyes, so fill the top section first, and while the icing is still wet, pipe a light grey icing in the middle to create a look of a shadow, and then let the icing crust over. And after the top section is dry, repeat the same step for the bottom section. Then continue to fill the mouth area with the same black icing, and use the Scribe tool if needed to shape the icing. Use the same black icing to connect his eyes with his mouth section. After the black icing on the mouth is dry, now we can create the lips by piping black outline consistency icing. I'm piping the bottom lip first, and for his lip there is a thicker part which needs to be filled with black medium consistency icing. You can use the Scribe tool for this to help smooth out the icing if needed. And then followed by the top lip, and you can use the same steps to create it. Now lastly, we are going to create his eyes. Fill the eye area with white icing, and while the icing is still wet, pipe a dot of black icing and followed by a small dot of white icing on top. Then repeat the same steps for the other eye. So there you have it, one cute bandit slug cookie. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to Best Fiend for more fun videos like this. If you want to see more of my cookie tutorials, then please head over to my channel at Cookielicious NZ. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.